Welcome to part 3. If you haven't seen the previous parts, well, you might want to go watch them first in order to understand this crapfest. Now let's end this with Everything Wrong with RWBY, Volume 3. Oh my god, this is depressing now. While I do applaud you for having volume control on the song this time, the same problem with the syncing and music is still there. How do you screw this up 3 times in a row? It is so simple. Again, when you can't even get the intro right to a CinemaSins parody, that is not a good sign.
Ren, Nora, flower power!
Wait, what?
They seriously stopped the battle for this.
Well, yeah, based on the dialogue and actions out of that line, they have no idea what the hell John is talking about, so why would they jump into battle when they have no idea what their leader told them to do? Sounds like a stupid idea.
Crow drinks at the crowbar.
Oh great, sending puns again. Yeah, just like the last part, I am going to skip the sins that have him bitch about puns or references, because by this point, I think the viewers who watched the last 2 parts know about my issue with this by now. As for everyone else, how the hell is a pun a sin?
The government and school are completely separate. Can you believe it?
Are they not separate in Atlas?
Given Weiss's dialogue in that bit, she pretty much implies that, yeah, the way Vale handles the connections between the government, military, and school is not the same in Atlas. In fact, it was explained in the series that Atlas's government, military, and academy are interconnected. So yeah, pay attention. Also, wrong Atlas. It would be cool to see the manifest personas, I'm not gonna lie.
Thanks to our clever little friend.
This screen implies that she's getting inside information from Ironwood. But how or why would he have access to the randomization process for the tournament?
Except, she wasn't getting the information from Ironwood directly. She hacked into Ironwood's scroll and got the stuff inside. Hell, she did before back in Volume 2 during the dance episode. And as for the tournament matchups, well, do you folks recall the scene in Volume 2 where Cinder went to that communications building? Well, it was explained that she injected a bug into said building, and that's how she was able to alter the matchups. The wording's a little vague, but clever little friend means the virus that she put into the mainframe. That's it. Especially since the Queen piece on the computer back in Volume 2 matches the one on Cinder's screen in this episode.
It take you a while though, since you're so, top heavy.
Boob joke.
Ah yes, the return of Captain Obvious. Thanks for your insightful sitting. We really needed you on that one.
Like magic.
So magic and dust and semblance are all different things? Why?
Because semblance is the manifestation of the person's innate and personal power, or in other words, a projection of their aura. Dust is an energy source, and magic as well. Supernatural shit. With those definitions in mind, I think you can see why now the 3 are separate things in this show, because they barely have anything in common to begin with.
If this is his aura being completely depleted, that shotgun blast should have knocked him out. But instead, he's up, and this happens.
Yeah, funny thing about that, the scene you just showed didn't actually happen. It was an illusion. In fact, in the same episode, we see exactly what happened. Mercury was down, and Yang punched him while he was down. In fact, to further prove my illusion point, Emerald states in episode 8 that she can make illusions. That's it.
Why would they disappear instead of continuing the fight if their goal was to get the Maiden's power? They clearly outnumber him.
Because during the fight with Amber, they got their ass kicked for the most part. They were weakened before Crow showed up. Even if they did outnumber him, numbers mean nothing when their strength was dwarfed by a healthy Crow, especially given how much damage Emerald and Mercury took. Seriously, did you watch that episode?
One mind I can handle, but 2 is a stretch.
She obviously affected Yang's mind here, but who was the other mind? It's never explained.
Paramedics? Remember, Mercury was supposed to be injured, so Emerald had to keep that illusion going in order to get the paramedics to help him. In fact, the quote, "one I can handle, 2 is a stretch," further proves this point. Because how many paramedics were there carrying Mercury? Exactly.
So either you're lying, or you're crazy.
There's no other possible explanation. None at all.
Crow does not know about Emerald's illusion abilities. How could he assume that it could also be an illusion when he's never seen someone use an ability like Emerald's prior to this episode?
Let me guess. She didn't say a word, did she?
Yang, we have a lot to talk about.
Not a word.
You could also be referring to the train scene, aka the one where Raven saved Yang from getting killed by Neo, especially since we hear no mention of that after credits scene ever again. Even in Volume 4 when Raven shows up in one episode, when Crow brings up the rescue, she refers to the train scene, not the after credits scene.
Bunny Ex Machina.
Oh, great, this argument. First off, it was subtly built up in the last volume and this volume that her weapon has something to do with photos. Which it is. her camera. And what was Velvet taking pictures of? Weapons. So it's not like this came out of nowhere, which is what a Deus Ex Machina is. 2. Deus Ex Machina usually solves an unsolvable problem just like that. How does Velvet's weapon solve this unsolvable problem exactly? Doesn't. In fact, as we see later, the other characters are able to take down the same robots Velvet used her weapon against. Hell, after she takes down one, she gets knocked out by one of the robots that she didn't fully destroy, so it didn't fully solve the problem. Hell, by that logic, Weiss's stand or whatever she unlocks in this very fight should also be classified as a Deus Ex Machina to you, even though we saw that also being built up earlier in the series. Parody! We'll get to that.
If Jean had just done his job and guarded the entrance like he was asked to, this wouldn't have happened.
No. It still would have happened even if he was guarding. Cinder is clearly stronger than him, so all she'd have to do is knock him aside, shoot the arrow, and done. Oh, and there's also the fact that in Cinder's previous fight, she can use her abilities to make materials like arrows out of dust and door the area around her, so she could easily shoot, say, an arrow from her arrow on the other side of the shield and hit her target, which is exactly what she did in the next episode to Pyrrha. Keep in mind that in said previous fights, she had half of the maiden power. Hell, even all the way back when she fought Amber, she was able to make those stones out of nothing, so it seems very plausible. Point is, regardless of what Jean could have done, Amber was still screwed.
This wouldn't have happened. If Adam's goal was to destroy, why did he only cut Yang's arm off instead of, say, cut her in half?
Yang's main weapon, that she takes great pride in, mind you, is her gauntlets, which are attached to her arms. Ergo, losing one of her arms would destroy Yang.
Also, what happened to aura and semblance? Yang's aura should have protected her. At the very least, her semblance should have kicked in before the permanent damage was done.
Oh boy, we got a gold mine here, don't we? 1. Yang had been fighting Grimm and other enemies for a while prior to this scene, so she, and by extension her aura, would be weakened as a result of said fighting. It's also why she basically lost to Neo back in Volume 2. 2. Adam's semblance allows him to absorb and or block energy and redirect it at his opponents with one powerful blow. In fact, we saw that not only in the Black trailer, but earlier on when Blake was trying to attack Adam, and as shown with Adam's physique, he was barely exhausted from the fighting with Blake, so his aura and semblance would be stronger than Yang's at that point, meaning that on top of the absorbed bullets from Blake's gun, Adam could easily cut through the rest of Yang's aura and arm. Finally, 3. Much like Adam, her semblance only works if she hits an opponent. She didn't. Not even close. Even going frame by frame, there was no chance for Yang to hit him the moment he got into that stand. In fact, had Adam done nothing, she would have continued charging forward and crashed into a wall most likely. Fact is, unless Yang hits her opponent, her semblance is useless in battle, which in this case, it was.
Cinder does not stop them, even though they are obviously going to be a threat.
How are they a threat exactly? Especially when a few seconds prior, Cinder sends Jean flying with barely any effort. If you want to call those two a threat to her, go ahead. But, I think you might want to look up the definition of a threat next time. You know what? Screw it. Ending this video here, so final thoughts. I've been saving this one for a while. This was one of the worst CinemaSins ripoffs I've ever seen. Your points are absolute dog shit, your editing is shit, you ignore context for scenes you bitched about, including scenes that counter your points, and your lack of explanation for certain bits really bugs me because even CinemaSins at least tries to explain why something is wrong. This trilogy barely had any of that. Even on a joke front, this does not work. Look, I like RWBY, but I can see the flaws of this show. Hell, I addressed a few of them in the many presents, so it's not like I did this video because I can't stand those who hate the show. I get that the show has problems. But when someone's issues with the show are either because they ignored certain bits of an episode or barely have much weight to said complaints, then I'm going to jump to this show's defense because I think their reasoning is not that great. In other words, it's not the act of you complaining about the show that I take issue with, but your reasons for it. So what? It's a parody, so all your issues are invalid. I was just waiting for the right opportunity to dismantle that argument, and you just gave it to me. What? See, most parodies provide commentary on the original work. Whether subtly or not, they still mostly provide commentary. One example being South Park's parody on a Samwell song, where they provided commentary on the ridiculousness of the original video and viral nature of certain YouTube videos. So tell me, clone, where's the commentary on CinemaSins' original series? What are you poking fun at? Because to me, this looks about the same as CinemaSins' regular vids with the exception of the voice and media. Even down to some of the jokes ripped right out of the source material. So again, where's the parody in this? Unless your idea of parody is sending stuff like puns and references, which, well, the CinemaSins have done the same thing, and it was just as stupid there, so that doesn't work. Really, I see this video trilogy as more of a ripoff than actual parody based on all of this. And don't even get me started on trademark law, because that's a whole nother issue in itself, especially when you plagiarize pretty much everything from CinemaSins right down to the thumbnail. So yeah, even your parody defense doesn't work here. It's over, JonFawkes clone. You failed. Your arguments have no weight, your threats have no weight to them, and even your defense has no weight to it. Impossible. This can't be happening. Well then, How anticlimactic.
2 hours later.
I'm done.
Wow, I don't feel a thing.
Of course not. He was in your mind after all.
Oh, okay. Well, it's over. It's finally over.
So, I take it you know what happened to Damon?
Yeah, I had a feeling he would disappear. He was originally a personified memory after all, so... Hey, can you calm the funeral for a bit? I'm trying to relax.
So,
What happened? I thought you reverted back into a memory. Did you forget I absorbed you from my dark side? Well, okay then. Look, this shit has gone on for far too long, so can we just wrap this up?
yeah, you guys can go home now.
Thanks, Doctor. So, how do we end this commentary? The only way you can end any RWBY commentary. It's Ellie, Susan, Fawn.
Later.
You never see it coming. You see that my mind is to fast for rise. You're done now. By the time it hit you, you're not surprised.
Well, look, hold on. At least now I can sit back and re-wrap.